What's up guys, my name is Marc Steiner, and today we are going to be talking about the best vlogging lens for your Sony camera. Now you might be thinking, oh, he's going to be talking about the 16-35 2.8 because that's the lens that every vlogger on planet Earth uses, blah blah. Wrong. If you missed that dope B-roll intro, we're talking about the Sony 28mm f2. This is the lens that I use for all of my vlogs and the lens you're actually viewing me through right now. Now why is this a good vlogging lens, you might ask? Let me walk you through my thought process before I bought this lens. I needed something that was small and light, I needed something that was going to be wide aperture for low light situations as well as that nice shallow depth of field. I needed a lens that was actually going to be wide enough to vlog on, and I needed something to be budget friendly. My biggest concern about this lens was whether or not 28mm was wide enough to vlog on, and as it turns out, it is! 28mm is more than enough if you're just vlogging for yourself, but you have room for 1 or 2 other people in frame, but if you do want more of that background, you are going to have to spend more money for a wider angle lens, but if you're like me and you have no friends, then it doesn't matter! The autofocus performance on this lens is very snappy, and that's something I need for vlogging. I can just whip it out, know I'm in focus, whip it around, put it on someone else's face, know they're in focus, and then whip it back, and it just it snaps very quickly. I never need to worry about whether or not I'm in focus, and I haven't had any focusing issues with this lens. This lens is perfect for a small and light vlogging kit because it's not going to kill your arm while you're holding it. Another reason why I love this lens paired with a Sony camera for video is because you can crop in, and this 28 suddenly becomes a 42. So even though you don't have a zoom range because this is a prime, you can still get 2 focal lengths out of this one lens, and those 2 focal lengths are very important for video. Now even though I use this lens primarily for video and vlogging, I can actually use it for photos as well, although I prefer not to because my personal style, I don't like wide angle shots, but you can get some good photos out of this lens. However, I have noticed that the eye autofocus on this lens is not as snappy as other Sony lenses, and it's not the sharpest lens. I have used it occasionally for portraits, but now that I have my 35, I don't really use this for photos at all. And although I have used this lens for client video work, I wouldn't feel comfortable using it for client photo work just because it's not the sharpest lens in the world. Because of the shallow depth of field, you can actually get some nice portraits if that's your thing. My friend Alyssa actually loves this lens for portraits because she's all about that wide angle, but I wouldn't use this lens for portraits just because that's not my style, but I love these photos that she took. This lens does come in at $450. Do I think it's worth the price? I do. It's not the most budget-friendly lens, but compared to the 16-35, it is significantly cheaper and it's smaller, and the autofocus and performance is great for video, so I have no complaints there. I've definitely gotten my money's worth out of this lens. Alright guys, that's it for me. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. I know that you will not regret it. Be sure to leave a comment down below if you found this helpful and or interesting. My name has been Marc Steiner, and I will see you next time. These ducks will not be quiet.